All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. It's inside the IFL. I'll be here alone today. Ed's sitting at home. He's a little under the weather himself, and one of his sons stayed home from school today. Had them all dressed and ready for school. Poor fella began throwing up all over the place as they were getting ready to head out the door. Just want to let everybody know uh, people can still join the league, even though the draft has happened. So if you have friends, family, anybody who wants to get involved, by all means, do the recruiting. There's going to be the availability for 9-star players. There's still availability for other guys getting in as star players. A couple guys have already messaged me today, said, my guy didn't get drafted. Can I make a new player? You may. Guys can make new players. I have not gotten any new contracts in officially. So that's why you got to pay attention to the free agent board. I should rename that now, the free agent board on the website, where you can find all the players. But this is going to be like a little short, brief, quick podcast so you guys understand the rules, understand the situation, understand everything that's going on, because we are less than 7 hours away from tonight's deadline for a lot of things that need to be taken care of. So that being said, you have cap space that's going to be left over. I said last night, you may now use that cap space. You can edit contracts. You can increase people's contracts. That all has to be done before 8 o'clock tonight. So you got to get me any and all contract updates by 8 o'clock tonight. One thing we're going to be getting to soon, I'm not requesting it just yet, so you don't have to worry about it just yet, but I'll throw it out there now so you guys can begin to think about it. We're going to need the number of years on contracts so we know who is and isn't locked in for more than just the upcoming season. I have not asked for that yet because I figured you want to get your team together. You want to figure out who you've got, who's going to be where before you make said decisions. So that's not needed right now, but just get your thoughts on it so you have time to think about it. So it could be, get that all done. So remember, and back to what needs to be done now. Any non-existing money that you have not spent, I totally worded that wrong. So any cap space you have left, that's what I want to say. You may spend it. So there's plenty of teams out here who have space within their cap, and they can use that space to their advantage. And I won't say who is or who isn't, or who this or who that, because it's just not my place until we release the actual full rosters. So we're going to go team by team in each conference so let guys know a little bit of details. Like the Chicago Assassins, they still need to sign 2 players to their team. And keep notes of this because now you're going to have an idea how many people need to sign players. So how many people you need to maybe outbid. And if all you got is a copper spot, the best you're going to be able to offer them is a copper spot. And then I'm going to get into the tie breaks when it comes to contracts as well. So I'm going to get to that in a minute. But here's the teams that need players that are going to be submitting contracts. In the North Division, Chicago Assassins need 2 copper players to complete their roster. The Detroit Hawks have a full roster. They are ready to go. The only edits Detroit can do right now is spend non-used cap space, which they have some. The Green Bay Grizzlies need to sign 2 copper players. So they need to get that done. The Winnipeg Crusaders are in the same boat as the Hawks, a full roster and have cap space to play with if they so desire. So there's only 2 teams out of the North that need to sign some players and get some players officially on their roster. So there'll be 4 players that need to go to the North out of free agency. Moving to the South Division, the Atlanta Rhinos, they need to sign 3 copper players to their roster, and then their roster will be full. So they're going to be in the free agent market for some players. The Dallas Wranglers are the exact same way. They need to sign 3 copper players. The Nashville Nightmares, they need to sign 3 bronze players and 1 copper. So they have the ability to beat a lot of people by having the option of signing bronze players, because I think there might be one of a few teams that have bronze spots open. I don't think anyone has a gold or a silver slot open anymore. So 3 bronze and 1 copper slot for the Nashville Nightmares. The Tampa Bay Stallions has a full roster. The only thing he can do, again, is mess around with any cap space he wants to use, maneuver things around, and set that up. So that's quite a few players that need to go to the South. That's what, 6? That's 10 players that need to get signed by the South teams. That's a lot of players. So that's, wow. Oh, Davis. Yes, Davis. It started. Not sure what he was referring to. But moving to the East, the Baltimore Bulls. They need to sign 2 copper players. They're currently at 12 of 14 on their roster. The Boston Liberty, they have to sign 1 copper player, and then their roster will be full. The New York Cobras roster is full. So, again, instead of saying it over and over again, any team whose roster is full, they can move around their salary cap. That's all they can do right now. And that salary cap can be done by all teams, as I stated. If you have cap space, you can use it. The Philadelphia Flight, they need to sign 1 bronze player and 2 copper players. So that's 3 players available for the Flight. Again, that's 1 bronze and 2 coppers that they have the ability to sign. Moving to the West Division, the Outlaws have a full roster. The Yeti have 1 bronze and 3 copper slots open. The San Diego Bulldogs have 1 bronze and 3 copper spots open. And the Tokyo Kitsune have 1 copper spot open. So there's quite a few players that can be signed to teams today at 8 o'clock tonight. That's 8 o'clock Eastern, which is in about 6 hours and 45 minutes, I guess it is. I will get on here either through a podcast or I will get on Slack. It all depends on my availability at that time. I will go into the contract offers by each and every player that have been submitted. Then at 8 o'clock, I will make the announcements of which player is going to which team, and then they will come off the board. I also announce, hold on one second, I'm getting a message. All right. Got a message on Slack I need to answer. Hold on. Whoa. All right. But yeah, but just asked a question about some non-star signings, when they can happen. I will mention it now. Non-star signings can happen after free agency is over. Because anybody who's a non-star, they sign now as a non-star, they're giving up the opportunity to be signed somewhere as a star. That's what they'd be doing. So, and somebody might submit a contract offer for one of these players and get them on their team. You know. So that'd be foolish, I would say, to some guys to accept non-star contracts when they're going to get star contracts. And who knows who's going to get what just yet. Because there's been a few offers that have come in on some players. A couple players have a couple offers on them. So this leads me to the tiebreaker. So guys, understand tiebreakers. This is what we need when you submit a contract offer. I need the player's name and position. I need the amount of years, the amount of abilities you're going to be putting on him, and what tier he is at. If you do not submit all the information, I can't count the offer because I can't determine the tiebreak. Tiebreaker number 1 is going to be where you were in the draft, is basically what we were going to do. But somebody had brought it to my attention, said that's not fair. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should go by something else. So I was like, what would be something else? And they said if 2 teams offer a guy the same contract, say at copper, and they both offer 3 abilities, that's still a tie. We should go by the number of years offered on the contract. So I thought about it. I've been considering it. I've been really evaluating it and really looking it over. And that's how the tiebreakers are going to be broken. More abilities is tiebreaker number 1 with the tier. So obviously the higher tier is going to win. So that should be the first tiebreak. I should just say that. Tiebreak number 1 is going to be tier. Okay. Tiebreaker number 2 is going to be the number of abilities. So if 2 people offer a guy a bronze and a copper, whoever offered the bronze is going to get him. If it's 2 bronze contract offers, whoever's offered the most abilities will get the player. If the abilities are a tie, we will move to the number of years added to the contract. Remember, you can do contracts between 1 and 3 years, which represents 1 to 3 seasons. So if that's a tie, then we go to the draft order, what the draft order was. So to repeat that, free agent bid tiebreakers. Tiebreaker number 1 will be tier. Tiebreaker number 2, the amount of abilities. Tiebreaker number 3, the amount of seasons/years on the contract. And tiebreaker number 4 will be where you draft on the draft board for this upcoming season we just had. So, like, Detroit had the number 1 pick in the rookie draft. So they will win all tiebreakers if it gets to the draft. New York picked 2nd. So they beat everybody but Detroit and so on and so forth. Then it would be the original draft order, not the draft order after trades and all that good stuff. So if you look at the round 1 draft order, it would have been Detroit. Number 2 would have been New York. Denver 3. Tampa Bay 4. Nashville. Number 6 would have been, I'm trying to remember who traded out at number 6 now. Tokyo. Then it'd been Green Bay, Boston, Chicago, Philadelphia, San Diego, Atlanta, Winnipeg, Dallas, Baltimore, Arizona. So Arizona will beat nobody out when it comes to draft order because they finished first. But their roster is full. People don't have to worry about it. I'm going to go to the chat room, see if there's any questions or any whatnot. Again, if you need, say, 1 wide receiver on your team, and that's all you want is 1, don't offer on 3 guys. Don't do it. Don't offer on 2 guys. Because if you win both contracts, they're both yours. Now you get both. You're locked into both contracts, and now your team might go over the 14 cap of players. Now you have to cut somebody. When you cut somebody, you lose 10% of your salary cap. So if you offer a guy X contract, say it's just for gold because this will be the easiest math, and you're going to give him a 6 ability contract, and you win him, and you get another guy, and you win him at the same 6 ability gold contract, that's $24 million in cap space you offered both guys, and you only needed 1. Now you got to cut 1, and now you lose $2.4 million in cap space. So instead of having $140 million, you're now down at $137.5 million. Also, the main reason why we need to do this is because it makes teams truly, legitly strategize and really, truly try to figure out what the right answer is and what the right answer isn't for their team. And with so many teams needing guys, we got to make sure it's done right. I will say this. There's a lot of guys that have offers in, and I am looking at it right now. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 19 players with contract offers right now, and only 3 have more than 1 offer on them. So 16 players have 1 contract offer on them right now, and 3 have more than 1 contract offer on them. So that's another bit of strategy I'm going to throw out there to you guys. If you look at the board and say, okay, this is clearly the best wide receiver left on the board, and you think that's going to be the consensus, can you win that bid? If you know you can't, why waste your time? Go to the next offer. Go to the next best guy and try to snag him while everybody else is trying to pile up on the best player available. And then this way you can get the guy you need and or want. So it's going to make it interesting. If you submit an offer, and I do have a couple that were sent in, if you want to submit an offer and already include the abilities that you plan on putting the guy after you sign him, if you get him, that's cool. But what I wanted to say is, if you want to go after a corner and you're going to move him to safety, that again, that's legal. You want to move linebackers to defensive end, whatever. Things like that are legal. Include that in the free agent offer so I can make sure I put that information down on the free agent bids so we can make that announcement. Let's see what we got. Okay, we got Mark Chisholm. We got Chris Davis, Matthew Soper, Alex Darr. These are everybody I've seen so far in the chat. That's good. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take this and see if we got any questions that want to come in and any comments that want to come across, because I know we're going to be filling some rosters just today. It's going to happen. Some guys have been doing their due diligence, and I know there's going to be some more coming in. I've actually got confirmation from at least 6, 7 owners today who've said I'll be at work till 3 to 4, 5, and then when I get home, I'm going to submit what all I need to do because I want to finalize a few things. I've got a hunch several teams will complete their rosters today. Several teams. And if not, I'm thinking teams that meet 3, 4 guys might be down to 1 left, which is great because, again, as soon as we fill all the rosters completely, Ed and I are going to do podcasts where we're going to break down every single division. We're going to cover 4 teams on 4 separate shows. So one show will be all about the North, one all about the South, and we're going to do the same with the East and the West. And then we're going to give our predictions and projections and things like that. And I'm letting you guys know now, as soon as the rosters are also done, I'm going to go to our Slack. And I don't know if I'm going to create a channel somewhere or use one of the current channels, and I might just use the pick'em because it could be interesting. And on the pick'em, I might just have you pick who you think's going to win each division based on team build, what the team owners are capable of here in the IFL. Because remember, some of these guys have owned teams in other leagues, other types of video games. That's somewhere else. What a guy can do here is the key. What you think they can bring to the table, some of the more unique builds and things like that. And since we're going to mention some of the unique builds, I can actually go to, let's say, the South and bring up Tampa Bay. I had this conversation with Ed today about the South. Tampa Bay's got 14 players. They have 3 copper players, like everybody else is going to have. But their 3 copper players are a defensive end, and a defensive tackle. They put 3 defensive linemen at the copper tier. All 3 of them defensive players are 6'7". So that's, to me, going after the quarterback, or is it going to try and help stop the running game? What is their philosophy? Is it going to be a combination of the two? It could make it interesting. So I'm excited to see what their playbook is going to be. And speaking of playbooks, I was already asked about playbooks. Once your team is done and your roster is done and you have submitted everything you need for your team, that means his tier, his abilities, his number of years on his contract, and that means that's all done. I have your roster locked up. We're going to get then to playbooks. I mean, you want to work on it now, good. Please don't send it yet because I don't want to get it lost in the messages and then I can't find it. Another thing we're going to need from every team is their non-star settings. Like, do you want a possession receiver or a deep threat? Things like that. We're going to have to figure that all out for quarterbacks, running backs, the linemen, defense, the whole side of the ball. You got to get all those settings together. And for owners who might not be aware of what we're talking about, just message me. I'll let you know what I'm talking about in better detail, how to find it within the game if you have the game, so we can get those settings correct. Let me see if we've got any questions in the chat. All I got to see, Davis says, I just want to know who is offering what player at the moment. All I know is I can guarantee who is going to be on my team after multiple offers I've made. I know someone is going to be going after one of those wide receivers that I offer. As far as who's going after who, I won't announce that. If a team wants to be foolish enough to say, hey, I am, then that's their problem. I'm not putting that information out there because that means a team be like, oh, they did it. Let me look at their roster. This is what they have. Oh, if I want him, I'm going to have to outbid them, and now they know how to do it, which to me would be unfair to not just themselves, the other team, but the entire league. But I can't control if somebody wants to reveal what they're doing. To me, it would be foolish. So, teams are going to do what they want. But again, 8 o'clock tonight is when deadline is for adjusting salary cap. I got to keep stressing that. You can adjust your salary cap until 8 o'clock tonight. And it should be easy because you know how many abilities you want to offer certain players at certain positions on the free agency. So you're going to figure that all into your current cap space. And remember, $4 million for every gold ability, $3 million for every silver ability, $2 million for every bronze ability, and $1 million for every copper ability. So the easiest way to do it is to go 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to go backwards. Adam Guerin is now with us in the chat. Adam Guerin comes from Wrestler Unstoppable, Pillar to Post, Big Dog Wrestling, Renegade Wrestling Organization. It's a little game that I am a part of. That's just like the IFL, except they use WWE 2K18. Create a wrestler, and you sit back and watch your guy wrestle other people. So if you like wrestling, let me know. I'll give you the links so you can get involved with that. Good stuff over there. So, but yeah, you guys, it's really easy to remember how much cap space is. You know, for me personally, when I do it, I just know I count low to high. So I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, copper, bronze, silver, and then gold. Now I've also been asked this, diamond in the rough. Everybody should know what the diamond in the rough is by now. But if you don't, I will get to it right here. The diamond in the rough is going to be a player that will have a hidden or hidden abilities. So it'll be one ability or two abilities. Bronze players can be the diamond in the rough, and that player would get one extra ability added to his build that will not count towards salary cap, and you keep this information secret. Or you may make it a copper tier player, and he may carry two abilities. And again, does not count towards the salary cap, and you keep it secret. I am not worried about who the diamond in the rough is on your team just yet. Once all 16 teams have their 14-man rosters, I will then ask for it. So that being said, if you have a 14-man roster now, I would advise you to figure that out sooner than later. Because once I'm done with what I need to do and get to that part, I will ask for it, and you will have 24 hours to submit said information. If you fail to submit it within that 24-hour period, you will not have the ability to use the option. And that's how that will go. Double checking the rule book because I'm going to read exactly how the rule was voted on, so everybody is aware of another option that we're going to have available. So just bear with me as I scroll through here to get it, because like I said, I want to make sure I read it 100% accurately, because I don't want to mispronounce it or misdescribe anything since it was voted on. Okay, now let's see here. All right, this was what was voted on. Allow each team to add one leadership ability to one non-star, non-skill position, meaning offensive line, the fullback, the kicker / punter, or someone on the defensive line. So it's any lineman on either side of the ball, the kicker or the fullback. We'll just add another layer of strategy, deciding where to add the leadership influence. Like the diamond in the rough ability, this will not be held against the cap. This is another thing we are going to need. This is the leadership rule. As you know, we never really gave this an official description. Like we have the diamond in the rough rule. This was never given anything. So right now we're just going to go with leadership rule. So any offensive lineman, kicker, or fullback, all teams may select one guy to give the leadership to, but he can't be a star player. He has to be a non-star. So anybody who's got a star fullback on their team, he's no longer eligible. Anybody who signed a kicker punter, he is no longer eligible. Some guys have offensive linemen, you know, like Boston drafted an offensive lineman. Well, maybe he now wants to put the leadership ability on an lineman that's playing next to that guy to maybe help improve him. We'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, I just saw Pain Factory. I believe that's Mr. Guerin. Said no one grabbed either one of his players in the draft. So take a look. He's in the chat right now, live on YouTube, which means he wants to be an active guy. Take a look at his players. Give me a chance to get there so I can find them, and I will let you guys know all the details on his players, because honestly, so consider them. Chaz Calloway, a tight end, 6'7", 20 stones, or 280 pounds, as he submitted him. Quick feet, soft hands, bull rush, tough in the middle, coverage bonus, ball strip, because the reason why he was going to make him a defensive end or a tight end, because we don't have two-way players in the league, he picked tight end. I am going to give him the opportunity to edit ball strip and coverage bonus since he's strictly a tight end. I'll get with him on that, and we can edit that. But he 6'7", 280-pound tight end. That's a solid build, I would say. So you might want to take a look at him. And again, we'll have to get those edited. And then I don't remember how to say the last name, but I'm going to try my best, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. Wayne Letoa, Letoa, a strong safety, 6'2", 237 pounds. Leadership, signal stealer, coverage bonus, pass rush bonus, sack master, reach tackle. Again, he's new to this. He's not sure what abilities do and do not work. There's a couple things on there you might be able to use if you want to bring a guy in and make him a copper or a lower tier player, or even something higher, because I know most of you only have bronze or lower left. But this is a guy who will be active. This is a guy who is involved. He's on Slack. He's here in the chat room. Okay, so the second way I said it was bad, the correct way. So yeah. So we'll take a look here, give those guys a look, and maybe you can get them involved in your team. I know some of you guys are going to create team channels like we had last year. And you're going to have yourself an active member if that's what you're concerned with. Some teams I know don't care. Other teams really like involvement, which is great. I'm good either way. So, get that out there. Okay. Yeah, use Twitter, tweet about us. Use your Facebook, get involved in the Facebook page. All these links are on the website. I want to make sure I put this out there as well. So when you go to the website, top left-hand corner, you got our Facebook page, you got our Twitter page, you got how you can email me and things like that. So you know how to get involved. Get the information out there. And there's also the link to our YouTube channel where, of course, subscribe, share it, get people involved. Don't forget Chad Fraser, Dallas Crestwood, Chad Moroso, Ryan Mondo, Ro Brodeen, players from last year that did not get picked up in free agency and were not eligible for the draft are now open for option to be signed in free agency. Fraser was a non-star fullback with Baltimore last year. I think he played well. That's at Green on Slack. Tight end Dallas Crestwood. He, I think, had a very good season with Boston. That's at CazPat 56, which is Castro Patron, the linebacker. Have not seen or heard from Castro Patron in a while. I was going to touch on this the other day and just didn't, because I didn't want nobody to get upset, worried, concerned. But Castro legitimately lives in Puerto Rico. They got hit by the hurricane, and I know they got obliterated, power gone, power lost. And I'm pretty sure that's why we haven't seen or heard from him in a while. So I'm hoping he's safe. Have not heard nothing from him. I don't even know who to go through, who might know him. So if you're in the league and you talk to him on a regular basis and you anything of that nature, might know how to reach out to him. Pass the word to somebody. Let us know if you get any updates. But I'm hoping, like I said, again, all's well with him in Puerto Rico with what happened down there. And yeah, but yeah, he's got a solid tight end. Definitely somebody you want to consider. Then I'm looking at the rest of these guys that we have on the board. Chad Moroso, he played well last year. That's at Moroso on Slack. And then Ryan Mondo and Ro Brodeen are two non-human players. And Brodeen played very well last year. Very solid build with the bull rush, stack master, strength bonus, quick feet, leadership, and ball strip at the defensive tackle position. Remember, those players at the very top of the page that I will be going in and renaming here shortly. so you guys know. I'm going to rename it the free agent board just because it'll make it easier for you guys to find. So I'm going to go do that right now while I'm talking so I don't forget. So if anybody saved that page in their bookmarks, well, unfortunately now your bookmark will be a dead link. So I apologize because whatever you name the page is its URL. So again, I apologize when that happens. Okay, going in there now. As I said, we're going to rename that page Free Agents so it's easy to see. All right. Our website recycles its hits as of yesterday. It recycles every Sunday, and it recycles, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the evening. It's been recycled. We currently have 297 hits that are unique to the website. So that's 297 different URLs have visited the website since yesterday, and over 900 total hits and over 900 total visits, depending on how you want to word it. So that's way better than it's been over the past. Okay. I've officially renamed that page Free Agents, so you guys know. And again, anybody that's in red is on a team. Guys that are on black text are the ones that are available. Submit to me the player's name, his position, his tier, the amount of abilities you want to give him in any of your contract offers. I'm actually going to move this page over, so it's going to be right next to the home page, so you guys can see it and find it a lot easier. So this way, it's because I know some people don't see the more right away. So now you guys should have no problem seeing it. So now when you go to the main site, you'll see home, free agents joined today, our staff, teams, owners, players, schedule, stats. And then you might get more, which will have the media, the rule book, and the draft order, which the draft order is no longer going to be needed here soon. So I'm going to be able to delete that page entirely, which I might as well do that right now while I'm in here, because we no longer need the draft order because the draft is over. Okay. Draft order page is gone. I'm going to rename teams owners to just teams because we have all the information on there. So everybody knows who's who. That should help free up some space. Just at the top. All right. Now, when I visit the website, I don't have the more link anymore, which is good. Some of you will. It all depends on the ratings of your window, like the ratio, what hit width and the height, and things like that. Now, for those of you in the chat, you're going to have the first information that this is coming because I'm about to do this right now while we're on the air. Yeah. Adam says, heck, he sent me 6 different players. He had to choose 2. Yeah. He sent me 6 players. He was unaware he could have 2, so he just selected 2. Like I said, he was in the dark. So like I said, we got 16 guys here. Some of these guys have more experience at this than others. I think it'd be great if somebody got a hold of Garen, reached out to him. He's at Pain Factory on Slack. Help him rework his player. Like I said, I'm giving him the option to edit 2 of those abilities on that tight end because he was unaware of what did or didn't work. So if you guys want to reach out to him and give him some suggestions, go for it. And then if you want to try and work out a deal to get him signed in free agency, submit it. I think he's going to be a very valuable addition to us because he's really involved for not being involved yet because he's not been on the field, which I think is great. It's a good sign. So reach out to him. Now, I've had the conversation with Mr. TJ Johnston. Mr. TJ Johnston has been the guy who has put forth a lot of effort for this league, has really come through for me in more ways than I can ever count and ever be thankful for. I owe the man more than I could speak on. He is the one who created the logo that you see on the screen right now, that International Football League with the shield, the football, the IFL. Well, I was bored and decided I want to try and make one of my own, put together some stuff, and I got some help from another gentleman of mine that I know, a friend of mine, and we worked on a logo. I presented it to TJ. TJ personally likes the logo. I know he's going to be favored to his own, which I can't blame him. But with his blessing, he said he didn't care which one we use. I refused to change the logo without his permission because he put a lot of effort into it for me. So I'm going to be going to the website momentarily, posting this new logo, and I'm going to put up a poll where I want you to vote on the new one or keep the old one. So we'll use the new one I'm posting or go with the new look, so to speak. Be warned, the new one will change slightly. There's only 3 stars on it for some reason that we didn't put 5, and we're going to put 5 stars on there because the IFL is a 5-star promotion. That's what we are. That's what we do. And the 5 stars represent 5 simple things, and I don't know if anybody's realized that or not. And I will explain what those 5 stars are right now. Star number 1 represents the league. That big star in the middle represents the league. That's all of you. Everyone that is involved is represented by that big star in the middle. The 2 stars to the left and the 2 stars to the right, they represent myself, Ed Ritter, Chris Davis, and Kyle Walsh, because those were the guys who put forth the effort to build this league and get it started. Then, to me, the shield represented TJ because he's been the guy, he's shielded me a lot by protecting me and helping me out and getting things right. So, to me, he is the shield. He's also my football mind, if you will, that I go to when it comes to all things all pro football. So, to me, he's also the football on the logo because, again, he's the football mind when it comes to the video game itself. So, that's what these things represented. So with the current logo, I forgot to put the 2 extra stars. They'll get on there. No harm, no foul. Same concept. The shield kind of thing is not there, which is one of the things I didn't like. But like I said, TJ thought it was cool. He liked it, but he likes the new one too, and he likes the old one. So I'm going to let you guys vote. I'm probably going to put this on everyday chat because it seems like everybody uses everyday chat more than anything else. So just give me a moment to upload this image. And then I want you guys to go in there, like I said, and vote. I'm going to give it a thumbs up to use it or a thumbs down to stay with the new one. So you guys know. So just give me one moment. I can type this up. All right, I'm writing potential new official logo for the IFL. Please vote now is what I'm putting. Vote with a thumbs up in favor of this logo, or vote with a thumbs down. You guys know. In favor of keeping the current logo. Voting will close at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday night. So you have today and the rest of tomorrow to vote until 8 o'clock. So you guys know. All right. It'll be posted in just a second. And there it's posted. Okay. I will put the initial votes up for a thumbs up and the initial vote for a thumbs down. So you guys know. There it is. Okay. And like I said, when you look at it, there'll be 2 more stars that'll be added to the outside of the I and the outside of the L. So you know where they're going to be. Simple. I just haven't had the opportunity to change it just yet. Curious as to what kind of comments I'm going to get on this as well. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Why not? Don't forget to share the links, post us out there, get us out. So yeah, new logo posted. There's the potential new official logo for the league. Same color scheme concept. More on the yellow side than the gold side, which is fine. I almost feel like we're Hawkamania, brother. What you gonna do on the IFL? Okay, I'm really losing it. Runs wild on you. Just had to finish the line. So, but yeah, a lot of things going on today. A lot of deadlines. So you just have basically 6 hours and 15 minutes to build your rosters, to figure out how much money you are going to spend on players, maneuver around your current salary cap. So we got no votes come in on the logo just yet, so we'll see what happens with it. So if anybody's in there and has any questions, comments, let me know, because I know there's not much more I can do here. I'll be doing a lot of rambling and saying the same thing over and over and over again. So let's see what you guys have to say. Don't look like we're getting any comments. Okay. I don't think we'll get no questions, no comments. I think everybody pretty much knows what's going on, which is great. It's good to know everybody knows the plan right now. Like I said, I'm very happy with the guys we got. It's been a very smooth process, very smooth process in getting things done. The draft went phenomenally well and went quickly, I think, both nights, which was great. So I want to thank all the coaches and owners and players that were involved with this draft. The 2 days, Friday and Sunday, was awesome. 6 rounds. 6 rounds we did. Okay. And if you think about it, if you got 6 rounds and you have 16 players around, 16 players around for 6 rounds, that's 96 players that could have potentially been drafted. Now, some teams had a full roster, didn't need to vote. A couple teams ended up forfeiting picks because they weren't around for their selection. But we still had over 90 players taken. Over 90 players taken, and we still have several on the draft board, which is now the free agents. So, by all means, gentlemen, please get in there, get that information, figure out who you want. And the free agent period will end once again all 16 teams have all their players they need. That's what's going to happen. I did tell Ed I was going to make this announcement, and I'm going to make this announcement now because, quite frankly, I want the free agent cycle to go as fast as possible because I would love to have a preseason. The only way we can have a preseason is if we get everything done in time. I have to have the time to build all 16 teams on the editor, which takes some time. And I know some of you owners are going to be more pickier than others. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you're going to take up more time for me having to edit so much on players, equipment, rename this guy, do this, do that. And it's your team, you're entitled to it. So I'm not complaining. I'm just pointing out that's going to take time. So the first 2 days of free agency will be under 24-hour periods. On the third day, we drop that 24 hours to every 12 hours. So at every 8 a.m. and every 8 p.m., each day, we'll be making the announcements of who's come up with certain players. So we can move it along a lot faster. So you have until 8 p.m. today, which will be a 24-hour period. Then you get another 24-hour period into Tuesday. Well, once the Tuesday 8 p.m. deadline hits, at 8 a.m. Wednesday, I'm making another announcement. At 8 p.m. Wednesday, another announcement. And if we need it, 8 a.m. Thursday, 8 p.m. Thursday. These are all Eastern times. So these rosters can fill up sooner than later because I think most of you would like to see a preseason game if it's possible. And even if we do this way and it happens, doesn't necessarily mean we get to have a preseason game. That's the downfall, because there's no guarantee of it either way, but this just improves our chances because the season will start December the 1st. So since December the 1st is the start of the season, which is a Friday, and we'll have games on the 1st and the 2nd, that means on the 24th and 25th would be the preseason games. And that's when you'll be submitting your playbooks. Before then, technically, I need your playbooks less than a month from now. And people don't even have their rosters complete. People don't have a lot of stuff complete. We don't have team settings for the non-stars. Don't have the playbooks. Don't have full rosters. And we technically have to have playbooks submitted. My guess will be by the 21st of next month. I'm thinking it'll be that Tuesday, maybe that Wednesday, so they can get submitted. So like I said, we're closing in on things, and I'm getting short on time. Got a question sent to me, I think. Okay. All right. Chaz was reworked. Got it. Chaz Calloway was just reworked. He sent me a new update for the player, so I'm going to go in there and fix him now, so you guys know. I'm going to update his tight end as we speak here on the air. As I'd like to see. I'd honestly love to see all the guys on the free agent board that are human get drafted, but I know that's not the ideal situation. As you know, you have to build your team a certain way. You're going to want to do it your way. And just because a guy's a human, he might not fit the bill. And I'm not going to push for human signings, even though I should. Okay, let's see. Quick feet, soft hands. Okay, he's going to add durability bonus. Okay, Mr. Third Down. And stamina bonus. All right. He has been updated. Saving it right now. Okay. All right. Chaz Calloway has officially been updated and saved. He will now be 6'7", 280 pounds. Quick feet, soft hands, durability bonus, Mr. Third Down, tough in the middle, and stamina bonus. Maybe a little bit more ideal of a build for everybody. Definitely worth considering. Like I said, considering he's active and he's around. All right, I'm going to turn this part of the show over to everybody in the chat and see if we've got any comments. If not, I'm going to wrap this one up. And I know I'm going to delay. What I'm saying now comes across on the feed about 5 seconds later. So I'll wait a couple seconds just to see if we got anything. If not, I'll probably repeat what I need to have done by 8 o'clock one more time and wrap this one up. In fact, I'll just mention it now while I wait. If you're adjusting your salary cap on players, their abilities, you can add abilities to players. You can't lower. I also got to make sure I mention that. I don't think I did yet. You cannot lower anybody's contract. Whatever they have now, that's locked in. You can only add to use your cap space. You know, it's 140 million cap space, 4 million per ability on gold, 3 million ability silver, 2 million ability bronze, 1 million ability on the coppers. Has to be submitted by 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern tonight. Anyone who fails to make that adjustment or any changes, whatever they have now, they're going to be locked in. Like I said, some teams only have like 110, 115 million spent, and their roster's full. So you have a lot of money to sit on, and you'd be foolish and stupid and careless not to use it. So please use it. I want all 16 teams to be the toughest, the baddest ass teams they can be going into week one. I don't want to see guys sitting on money and wasting money. So get those in. Contracts for free agents. Again, I need name, I need the position, I need the tier, and the amount of seasons you're offering. Any offer that does not pertain all those, I have to, ignore them. I am so busy dealing with so many people and so many options, I won't have the time to message everybody back and say, hey, you forgot this, hey, you forgot that. I've done it with a few people last night into this morning, but as of right now, I'm super busy with so much more when it comes to this league. I don't have time for that, considering I've announced the rules last night. I've announced the rules on this podcast several times, so guys should know. So again, get it done right, and we'll get to it. And then, like I said, we'll get to probably the diamond in the rough before the end of the week. As soon as all 16 rosters are full, we will get to that. So it looks like no questions, comments are coming in on the live chat. So if you guys still need anything from me, you can message me. Bear with me today into tomorrow because I work this evening. I'm off tomorrow. So if I don't get to you right away, understand that I'm currently over here working on a lot of stuff. I have 16 owners, 16 teams, and a whole lot of players to deal with. So that being said, I'll catch your ass down the road. This has been Inside the IFL. Later.